Expecting to join us, but we'll go ahead since we have 5 members here. So the first matter of business, we've got everybody signed a waiver of notice, a public notice. Everyone signed that. We got minutes from our meeting of September 28th that were mailed to us. Are there any corrections or additions to those minutes? Can I have a motion then to approve the minutes as presented?
So moved.
Moved. Second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion on the minutes? If not, all those in favor of approving the minutes as presented indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Okay, minutes stand approved. Okay, our first project is the preliminary approval. This is an extension. We previously approved Old Stone Bridge Crossings LP for up to not to exceed $43 million in bonds. This is located on 619 North Main Street, and they, I guess, need an extension on this. And who is here representing them? So want to stand up and give us your request and what the status of things are.
Afternoon, good to see you all. Evan Holiday, I'm with Holiday Ventures. We've been working on this project for, I think, about 1.5 years now, and everything's moving along very well. The reason for the extension is really just the permitting and approval process. By the time we were able to get all that lined up, THDA had already allocated all of their 2021 funds, and so we're now in a position to be able to move forward in 2022, early 2022, and so that's the reason for the extension. But everything's progressing well. We're into the permit office, and we're lining up our financing commitments for tax credits and our lender as well.
You're talking about a building permit?
Correct, yes. All the building permits, site permits,
No.
all the approvals needed.
Any questions or concerns about that?
No, it's just, unfortunately, the time we're in, everything seems to have slowed down significantly.
Okay. All right, so this would be, what do we extend it? Cindy, I don't know what the resolution says. We're extending
We're
it.
extending into 23 only because everybody's been experiencing delays and with the status of the world economy and
So, I mean,
supplies.
a date specific or 1 year? Or what?
To the end of 23.
Okay, so we're going to...
Everything before you today, they're preliminary. We're all,
Even the preliminaries will be through
yes,
2020.
just to give everybody time to, it's just taking much longer. And there's so much demand with THDA's program as well. Not everyone was able to get in this year, and next year will probably be similar.
Okay.
I'll move approval if that would help.
Okay, you move and approve adoption of the resolution that's...
To delay till 2023 or extend to 2023.
You give them approval till 2023, okay?
To the end of
Second.
2023.
Right.
Yes. Second.
I think you got a second. Okay.
Second, yeah.
Second, okay. So any further discussion, questions? If not, all those in favor indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Okay, you've got your approval. Hopefully
you,
that's enough
appreciate
time to get it going.
Yes, thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Next up is a similar situation, approving an extension. This is for Birchstone Village LP, and this is for up to not to exceed $40 million in multifamily bonds. This is for 606 North DuPont Avenue. Yes, sir.
All right, thank you. Good to see everybody. Alex Trent with Trent Development Group. We're in very much the same scenario as Mr. Holiday. Permit processing time was just, it continues to grow in Nashville, and THDA ran out of bonds very quickly last year. So we're teed up and ready to go this year and look to close this year.
I will move approval again when you're ready to take the motion.
Take a motion, okay, and the moves a
Through
second.
2023, is it again? Yeah.
I'll second.
Second, okay. And say this year, I mean, are you talking about
Sorry, next year.
next year? I mean, 2022, you hope to get it underway, okay. All right, any further questions or concerns? If not, all those in favor of the resolution indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Resolution is adopted. Good
Thank
luck.
you very much.
Okay, now we have some first-time projects coming before us for preliminary approval, which will give them the option to go before Tennessee Housing Development Agency for bond financing. And all these we'll be having a public hearing on, but for first start with ECG Clarksville Pike LP for not to exceed $43 million in bonds.
Hey, I'm gonna do this one in the next three, so make sure I don't have deal merge. But this one is a new property that we're looking at on Clarksville.
Your name is?
Sorry, Grace Evans with Elmington Capital.
Grace Evans, okay.
So representing the developer.
You with who, with
Elmington Capital.
Wilmington, yeah, okay. Okay, go ahead.
So this site is on Clarksville Pike, a little bit west of the Cumberland River and Buena Vista Pike. So this one, we're working through the site plan now. We're looking about 250 units. That'll just be a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms. We're looking at income averaging, so between 50 and 80% AMI. It's gonna be one residential building with a pool. We're gonna have our nice amenities, leasing fitness center. We're actually planning for some retail space on the bottom. Where our amenities are always the granite countertops, walk-in closets, Energy Star appliances, microwave refrigerators, all of that. We are planning to apply for credits in the 4% bonds when THCA opens the window in 2022. We've already applied for $2 million in Barnes funds on this one. We should hear back on that later this month. But we're working on that. We've been shopping the LOIs with debt and equity, so we've been working through those now. And then just timing, apply for THDA for credits, and then we anticipate closing in April of 2022, at which point we'll begin construction right away. We're planning for a 20-month construction period, so we'd be 100% complete by December 2023.
So you would plan starting when?
We would close probably April of 2022, and then start construction right away.
What's the criteria for the Barnes Fund to get money from there?
So we have a nonprofit as the GP. We're partnering for this application with Woodbine. So we've applied for $2 million there, but we would hope to get the $2 million. It's possible you could get a little bit less than that or none at all, but that's what we're looking for now.
When do you anticipate hearing from them?
End of the month. I know it's Christmas, December, but that application was submitted probably 3 weeks ago. So I think last time they were delayed getting their responses out, but they've told us end of December.
Okay, and so you have your project, number of units and everything, you got a
We
design?
have a site plan for it. Still working through it. So 250 units is what we're planning for. Mix of the 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms.
Other questions?
And what percentage of those units are going to be affordable?
They're all affordable. So it'll be ranging from 50 to 80%
Oh,
AMI.
you said that.
Okay, we need to have a public hearing on this matter. Is there, at this time, I'm going to ask if there's anyone here wishing to speak for or against this project besides the applicant. I'm not seeing anyone indicating the desire to speak, so I'm going to close the public hearing. Members still welcome to ask questions. We do have a resolution that was submitted to us, and certainly entertain a motion to approve the resolution.
I move.
You move adoption of resolution approving preliminary approval for this project. Second, okay. Of course, they will have to come back to us for final approval once they when they get their THDA approval, I guess is when that will occur. So this gives them, with this authority, of course, this gives them the right to make application. Okay, no further questions. All those in favor of adopting the resolution indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Resolution is adopted. Okay, are you also on
And the next two.
HV Land Company LP? This is on McCrory Lane and not to exceed, it's 43 million, kind of the going
Yep, for this
figure
one
right
and
now.
Yep, that's going right these days.
I know I had a question before, I forgot to ask it. Have you done projects with commercial?
Yes, and the other one, it's only about 4,000 square feet, but yes, we have in Memphis and also here as well. I guess the one in Nashville is more, we have like a nonprofit that leases from the bottom of Hillside Flats, Salama Urban Ministries, so you're familiar with them. So I think they're actually moving in January, so we have that.
So that's, yeah, I mean, that's, so, okay.
And then,
nonprofits, not necessarily, they're not necessarily a commercial operation, are they? I mean,
They're nonprofit. They will service children like in our
That
development, but
area.
also the surrounding neighborhoods as well.
And I just wondered what the experience and what the benefit is for there. I mean, it gives income, I guess.
Well, it's more benefit for the tenants, like if you can get like a lunch spot to go in or something. That's what we've looked at. We have another one in Memphis that we've been looking at, just like a service that's walkable for residents.
So you one in Memphis, is it open yet?
They haven't, it's being delivered right now, that one.
So you don't know what
It's not
exactly
in
is
there
going
yet.
in the,
And we don't know what's going in this one yet either, but
Right.
just wanted to go ahead and build out the space, so we'll have that
how
option.
much space is it?
It's about 4,000 square feet.
How much is in Hill Flats or whatever?
Do you know how much?
Hillside's 10,000 square feet.
They've got classrooms in that one and like a stage for the kids for performing. So that one's much bigger.
And let's see, this is gonna be, the one we just talked about is gonna be several building, I mean, is it garden apartments or what are we looking at? One building?
One building.
One building, okay, so it would be on the ground floor and then there'd be, how many floors was this building?
3-4 splits. So like three, depending on the topo, so 3 or 4 stories.
Okay. So let's be concerned about traffic too, coming, I mean, if you have what I call a true commercial operation, people buying and selling things, something there, I don't know if that's,
I don't think traffic is going to be a huge, just based on the size of it. And there'll be street parking as well, but
okay, go ahead with, HB Land Company.
yes, so this is another new construction multifamily bond development that we're looking at constructing on the southeast corner of I-40 and McCrory Lane. It'd actually be the phase 2 of another development that's out there. This area's just been having a lot of growth.
Is that one that you have done also?
Yes,
Was
yes.
that through us or?
Yes. And so this would, and that one is still in construction right now. But this would be the second phase, so we're planning for 254 units, and this one would be also 100% affordable, but this one will be all at 60% AMIs, and then a mix of 1, 2, and 3 bedrooms as well. Same general concept with like the upgraded amenities, granite countertops, walk-in closets, Energy Star. This one we're planning for 7 residential buildings and then a standalone clubhouse service parks, a little bit different than the last one I described. But timing is pretty similar, so we'll apply for LIHTC and 4% bonds through THDA once they open that up in 2022. And we've been introducing this one to debt and equity providers. We haven't decided on one yet, but still working on that. And we would anticipate closing this one in October 2022. And then we'd begin construction right away.
What's the status of the one now under construction?
It is, you're more up to date on this one than I am.
Yeah, and it's gonna come up
It's
later in the
it's-
agenda, but it's,
yeah.
we closed on it in July. It's been under construction since then. It's on schedule, on budget.
Yeah.
To be finished?
I think it's a 20-month.
I'm sorry?
To be finished approximately,
It's a 20-month build, so spring
say
of,
July, so, okay, another year and a half. Okay.
And then just, like I said, this area's just had a ton of demand. That was in our market study, and also just really no affordable
When do you start
housing.
pre-leasing? What
We
stage?
do that about 3 months before we start delivering, just because the applications go stale the way it works, so. But we start marketing right away, like the website goes live where we can start taking application, or not applications, but interest, like the information for people.
So people send in their interested or inquiry, and you
Right.
keep those names, and then when you're ready, you
Yes.
contact them and say, okay,
Yes.
well, you can submit an application if you're
Yes.
interested. Okay, we will have a public hearing on this project also, so at this time I'll ask if there's anyone from the public wishing to speak for or against this project. I'm not seeing anyone expressing desire to speak, so we'll close the public hearing. And we can have a resolution for preliminary approval. Do we have a motion to give approval to this resolution?
Can I get one clarification? I think you said 254 units and this says 225? Are we on the same, the next one is 249 units.
Yeah.
So I'm just wondering if we're talking about the same, at the piece of paper that I'm looking at.
We are. let's go with what we have in there. We're still working through the site plan, but I think it was the 225.
You said 254, but it's really 225. Okay.
I wonder what the mathematical bounds on approximately are. Approximately 225, well, that could be 100 or 300, you know?
Yeah,
And obviously zoning and codes
Zoning,
determines
yeah.
how many units you can
parking
actually
requirements,
put
yeah.
on there, so,
Okay.
with parking, et cetera. What's the requirements for parking now? Is it 1.5 or?
I believe it is. I know we're hitting all of the parking requirements for that one as well. And it, yeah.
You're hitting them, I mean,
And, well, I mean, no, we are always like complying with all city zoning, all required
right.
parking.
Just to know what the requirement is for apartments, is it?
It depends on where they are too, in urban or not. So I think that one is 1.5 space. I think it's per bedroom.
It comes out to about an average of those 2.5. It's a space per unit for 1 bedrooms, two spaces per unit for 2 bedrooms, and then an additional half a space per unit for every additional bedroom. So like a 3-bedroom would be 2.5 spaces. I believe that's right. It's been a minute since I looked at it. And then there's all kinds of parking credits for tree preservation and proximity to transit, which is not applicable to this one, but that's generally the
Okay, this time I said, did I get a motion to approve? Yes. You moved and seconded. Okay. All right, any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the HV land company, indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Approved for that one. Okay, you also have, ECG.
CDLP. Yes. So this is another new multifamily development that we're looking at on 10th Street between Harrison and the Lifeway Plaza. So fabulous location, a couple blocks from Publix and all of the shopping that's in that area. Planning to build 249 units. Working through the site plan of that. That'll be a mix of 1 and 2 bedrooms. 100% affordable, like everything else we build. This will be one residential building. Also looking at doing a little bit of retail space on the ground floor, although we haven't identified who would go in there yet. We would have a wrapped parking garage, and then all of our on-site maintenance, exercise facility, everything that we typically have, upgraded amenities in the units. And then this one will be applying for the tax credits and 4% bonds from THDA, and still working through the bond structure, but planning for that $43 million not to exceed amount. And we plan for a 19-month construction period for this one as well.
What's the mix on affordable units that you're expecting?
We are still working through that right now, just based on the area, but it will definitely be 80. This is the one we're newest stage. It'll definitely be all affordable, but 80% and below. But it could be all 60s. We're not sure. We might be doing some income averaging there as well.
How's that decision made?
Typically, we make the decision ourselves, but here we're working with kind of the surrounding community, so there's a lot of market rate development in that area. So the person we're selling it from doesn't want competition for market rate, so we're working through that as well with them.
Person, you're who?
Like who we're buying the land from is developing a multifamily development, so they don't want us to go in with the 100% market rate. So
Who is the owner of the land now?
can we go into all this? Yeah. Sure. So the one who's they're developing, it's Boyles.
Yeah, those in the Capitol View development. So that's a development sponsored by Boyle.
And they have not.
Boyle Mortgage or Boyle, whatever they are, investments?
Boyle Development, they're based here and in Memphis. They've been the primary partner on the Capitol View development since its inception.
And so this is, I know where the Publix is, let's see, that's, what's the street that goes down, Kevin? Is that 11th or what is that? Is that 10th?
8th Rosa Parks, you thinking?
No,
No,
I mean,
it's up further.
down the corner of HCA, what is that? That's Charlotte, is that 10th? Is that 10th?
10th, I think.
No, it's not 10.
It's not 10th because this would
That's
be on
11th, I
Yeah.
think, isn't it?
11. Yeah, because 11th
This-
wraps into the Gulch.
Yeah.
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 It's kind of in between
So
11th and
10th
10th,
is,
somewhere in
yeah, I
there.
mean, it's
Yeah.
behind the Publix. Is it Harrison Street, did you say?
Between Harrison and then Lifeway Plaza.
Okay, then that's, yeah.
11th and Meharry
So,
and Harrison. I'm just looking at the map.
okay.
I think there may have been a map too.
Well, that's what I was looking for. There's this is map that just has a,
Okay.
I was looking for.
Oh, yeah.
Where there's some commercial development right now, if I'm not mistaken.
There's a lot of commercial over
Yeah.
there.
Yeah,
I
okay.
mean, it's down the street from
Dry bar
ML
restaurant.
Rose
Yeah.
is on the corner. That's Harrison, isn't it?
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
Harrison? So it's in towards the Capitol. I mean,
Very
is that-
walkable.
Is that the one where there's the, go under the tunnel? I can't remember. So there,
Where that park is.
there's the park, and then where are you across the street from the park or
Behind it, if
behind the park?
So over the train tracks, on the other side of the train tracks?
it's not right by the train tracks.
Okay.
It's not next to the train tracks.
No.
It's right behind the park. It just sits right dead
Okay.
behind the
And
green
train
space.
tracks
just
may curve
vacant
around. I
right
can't-
now.
Yeah, I mean, that tunnel goes under the train tracks, but I serve they sort of curve around, I guess, maybe there, and you are not next to them, but anyway. So how tall is this building gonna be, do we know?
This will also be about a 4 stories tops.
My question is again about the affordability of this. Could you go more into detail? I mean, I know you haven't come up with exactly what you'll be able to do, but that's my only question, because I feel like the other ones are kind of clear about what the affordability is.
Yeah.
But with this one, I know it's in a sticky area as well, so it's gonna be expensive, but knowing that we're dealing with affordability.
It
for
is
this.
expensive, but we're trying to offset that through loan, like financing from alternative instead of passing it off onto the tenant. So I would assume at this point just 60% AMI, or we would average to that across the board.
So that would be more of your goal too.
I mean, I would say that if your concerns of affordability are not met, and to the point that you're considering voting no, I'll join you in that.
Okay.
Okay, but I'm not an expert in this as you are, so.
We wouldn't be
Yeah.
able to get tax credits if it wasn't affordable, so.
True, yeah, because of the neighborhood, I just wanted to see.
They also don't qualify for financing through this board if they don't.
At
meet the
all, yeah, so
affordability.
it has to be
That's a-
affordable.
That's a legal requirement.
It's
So
just a
they-
matter of whether we're talking about 60%, 80%,
Right,
20,
right.
you know,
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
how low.
What's the lower end of the
It's not-
affordability threshold? Is it 20% of the units in that
You
considered?
can go as low, I mean,
either
yeah,
lower?
as low as you want on any percent.
No,
You just
not
have
in
caps
terms of
on it.
AMI, in terms of the total number of units in the project. Is it based on 200 units, a certain percentage of those need to be affordable units and the rest can be market rate?
So for,
Want me to answer that?
sure,
We can do 20, 50, 20%. I mean, 20% of the units have to be set aside for people with 50%
Okay.
AMI, or 40% have to be set aside for people with 60% AMI.
Okay.
or you
And typically,
averaging.
they've hit all of those, but to get taxes and financing, you've got to hit one of those two targets.
We're typically 100% at 60%. So our group is purely affordable developers. So I've never done a market rate deal.
Okay, let's see, have I had a public hearing on this? No, okay, so we need to have a public hearing. At this time, so I call for a public hearing. Anyone here wishing to speak for or against this project? Again, I'm not seeing anyone desiring to speak, so we'll close the public hearing. Do we have a motion to adopt a resolution approving this project? Anyone want to move approval? Do they have any reservations, questions, further questions? Certainly in a downtown location, making it affordable housing in an
I
area.
personally would feel more comfortable voting if I knew the specifics around what the mix of affordability would be
It
for this project.
will be affordable.
Well, not that it would be affordable, but what the specific mix of AMI percentages are for the units, because that's clear on the other two, but not on
Yes.
this one.
I think you can blame for 100% at 60% AMI or weighted average that.
Just talk about the timing issue.
Yep.
So, sorry, I'm John Shepard. I've met some of y'all before. I'm also with Elmington. I work with Grace. The reason why the details on this project are a little more preliminary than some of the other ones is just because of timing. This is likely a 2023 closing instead of a 2022. So we're just that much earlier on in the process. So we're still trying to, and obviously this is about as expensive as land gets in Nashville. So we're still very much at the early phase of figuring out how we finance this development and incorporate as much affordability as possible. We will absolutely incorporate the minimum affordability requirements that Pete mentioned, but the intent is to go far beyond those. The reason why so the question is, okay, why don't you come back to us when things are a little more baked? The reason why we're here today is in the tax code, as you guys may be familiar, a development generates additional low-income housing tax credits if it's located within certain geographic areas, those being qualified census tracts or another designation that's not relevant here. So this site is currently in a qualified census tract. Next year it is not. HUD releases those maps in advance, so we know when they're going to go in or when they're going to go out. And so why that's important is because the amount of tax credits that are generated, the applicability of that qualified census tract or not, is determined based upon the timing of this meeting and this approval right here. So this is actually a really important initial approval, even though it's very early on in the conceptual phase, because that sets that commitment or that applicability of that increased credit rate. So that's why we're here. We'd love to be 6 months further down the road before we were here asking for this initial approval, but it's really important to the project that we preserve that. It's called a basis boost, and we preserve that by having this initial approval before the end of the year when that basis boost and that QCT designation goes away. So we'll definitely be here. If approved today, we'll definitely be back here for a final approval. And if it's this board's wish, I think we're happy to come back and provide an update somewhere along the way as well. So I understand we probably should have led with that, but that's just some additional context and sort of.
So we will have a review of this again for final approval, and they'll have their more specific proposal on how many.
But don't there tend to be other pressures at that point, though? Bond paperwork and the works and other expenditures that have been made. Wouldn't it be more expensive in a sense to?
Bond. Obviously they've done a lot of work on the project. They're going to.
We've already spent money on a site plan and all of that, but if we don't get the basis boost, the land is just too expensive. Will be too expensive to buy next year. It's really the last chance to do affordable housing in this area.
You have an option to purchase the land from Boyle, is that right? They indicated something that there's some pressure there or whatever to.
They want us to be affordable as well because they don't want us to compete with their market rate development.
Oh, okay. They don't want you to be.
They don't want us to come in, and take all their
slightly below
tenants.
them, take their tenants, right?
Right.
And they figure yours will be lower income, and that's fine for you because they're looking for higher income tenants.
Right, exactly.
There's a lot. There's a lot of other uses that could go here. Honestly, the fact that they're willing to talk to us is
amazing.
This is the most exciting deal I've ever been a part of. I would say this is a generational opportunity. I can count. There's maybe one project like this in the city of Nashville, and it's Laurel House, right? And in terms of this level of high opportunity area, there's a lot of great affordable housing in the city. Don't get me wrong, but this is about as good as it gets. So we're a long way to go to figure getting it there. But right now, they're at the table, and they're willing to move down this path with us, and so we're excited about that.
And you can't even project rents at this particular point.
We can't. We know what the rents are today. We have some visibility on what the rents are going to be in 2022. But anytime we close a development, we don't know. AMIs are released every year, so we don't know.
What kind of rents would you, to say today, would they be looking at for that area?
Oh, in terms of market?
Yeah.
So.
Well, market and what your rents would be too. What are the market rents? What is Boyle's going to be marketing now?
So market rents down there for a one bedroom are about $2,000 a month. 60% AMI one bedroom unit is about $900 a month. So it's less than half.
And so just make sure I'm understanding, what you're saying is this is a rare opportunity to take advantage of this space and create affordable housing in an area that otherwise could be swooped up and only be available at market share.
Exactly.
Okay.
Is
I
it-
would like to motion to approve.
Well, I have
Okay.
one more question. Do you know if this census tract is an opportunity zone, qualified as an opportunity zone?
Grace, do you know?
A DDA?
No, it was-
an opportunity zone.
Okay.
I've looked this up before. I don't think it
Okay.
I don't think
is.
I know there's some adjacent
Yeah.
Yeah.
census tracts that are. I wasn't sure about this one. Okay. Yeah, go ahead, Becky.
I'm just saying, I would like to move for approval.
Is there a second?
I'll second.
Second. Any further questions? Discussion? None, we're ready to vote. All those in favor of the resolution approving this project indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no?
No.
I vote no. All right, the next matter before us is PPSWLP for preliminary approval not to exceed 16 million in bonds, and this is on Southwood Park Place and Glastonbury Road. Who do we have here?
Hi, my name is Kelsey Osmond. I'm with Urban Housing Solutions. We also have Brent Elrod and Kevin Common with us today. So this project is an acquisition rehab. UHS acquired the two adjacent existing apartment complexes over the past year or so. It's a total of 165 units, a mix of 1 and 2 bedrooms. And the plan is to use 4% bonds and tax credits to refinance and permanently stabilize the property. They've been naturally occurring affordable housing. And so the use of income averaging will allow us to accommodate the mix of incomes that are currently on the property and minimize the displacement, and then stabilize the rents for those residents and protect them for the long term. The scope of work for the rehab addresses the critical and non-critical items in our recent physical capital needs assessment. And then we're really focusing on sustainability, both for residents to reduce their energy and utility bills, and then sustainability for the property in the long term. So replacing appliances, windows, lighting, plumbing fixtures, really just kind of raising the property to the standards that we have for the rest of our portfolio. So we plan to apply for tax credits with THDA in March, hopefully when they open that. We are also waiting to hear back for a Barnes application for $1.5 million that we submitted a couple weeks ago, so we'll find out about that in the next, I think, 2 weeks. And then we would be able to close in the spring and start construction pretty soon after that. Our timeline depends a little bit on whether or not we're able to do it fully tenant in place, which would be the goal. But some of that depends on COVID and access to residents' apartments while they're occupied. If we're not able to do that, we would kind of leapfrog and move folks into renovated apartments and then work on the ones that have been recently vacated. So that would just extend our timeline a little bit.
How long would a tenant potentially be displaced?
So the goal would be to renovate an apartment and move them into that one permanently. So they would relocate once, and that would be it.
Okay.
You may have mentioned this.
I'm sorry, if it's this is Brent. If it's a leapfrog renovation, if it's a tenant in place, and I think we were told by at least one of the contractors we've got a bid from that they can do up to 4 units a week, maybe, at the peak. When they start to really ramp up, they get to 4 units a week. So maybe, a week, probably 1 to 2 weeks on average.
Gotcha. Okay. For full reno of a particular
Well, it's not a gut renovation because these apartments have central air. There's two different properties, actually. They're neighboring properties. One property was built in 85-ish, and it has central air, so we don't need to gut renovate for the HVAC conversion. It would be kitchen cabinet replacement and bathroom fixture replacement, cosmetic, and, energy efficiency improvements, essentially. Not all the windows have been replaced, but some have been replaced. We would complete that window replacement, windows and doors, for the energy efficiency of the building. But actually, both properties are structurally in really good shape. So the structural survey we got was very encouraging in that way. So we can spend more dollars on, the actual resident experience. So.
And these aren't far from the Mercedes-Benz dealership, right? It's like
No,
off of
actually,
Riley,
that's right,
Hotel
exactly.
Preston to the right.
Yep.
Okay.
And both of them have immediate bus access, so there's a bus stop right in front of each apartment complex.
They were both built in the 80s?
So the first building was in 1973, and then the other ones after that were in 86. Yeah.
So there are two different buildings.
Two different complexes adjacent to each other.
Are you all purchasing these?
We own them. We have purchased them.
So we would transfer them to the development partnership who would do the rehab.
Did you recently purchase them?
So it was two concurrent acquisitions. The first property was Parliament Place. We closed on that in December of 2020. And then in April of this year, we closed on Southwood Park.
So you bought them with the intention of
Long-term
rehabbing.
stabilization, yeah, rehab and long-term preservation.
So who ends up being the owner of these then?
Well, the not very creatively named PPSWLP will be the long-term owner of the property, but there's two different community names currently, Parliament Place, Southwood Park. Honestly, we haven't decided on if we're going to unify them under some single brand. They are quite a bit different in elevation. There's a big hill there, so they're not likely to be connected very easily with stairs or ramps or something. It'd be pretty extensive pedestrian kind of investment to connect them. It's something we haven't ruled out, but it could be infeasible. So right now they're kind of operating independently of each other, but they're neighboring properties. So under the tax credit rules, we can actually consolidate them under a single allocation
one project,
and bonds and be able to renovate them simultaneously. So get those kind of economies.
This limited partnership's going to acquire the whole development.
Exactly.
And you're deciding whether you name it one name for, I mean, you see changing the name at least, or?
If it seems like it makes some sense, because the driveways are pretty far apart, and there are two offices currently, because they were independently owned by different owners, for forever. So it's a little bit of a unique situation, but
Certainly architecturally different too.
very different architecturally, yeah, so.
So it makes sense maybe to have two different names, even though one owner owns both of them next to each other. They would all be at the same rental price, essentially? Is that
Yes, sir.
What's their occupancy there now?
96%.
Yeah.
They're fully occupied and operating.
What are the rents there now?
They've been a mix because it hasn't been under any income restrictions or affordability
So
requirements.
it's market, basically, quote,
They're in the
market.
because they're older apartments, they're in the neighborhood actually of the LIHTC maximums, the low-income housing tax credit maximums, around $900 for a one-bedroom, about $1,050 for a two-bedroom. There is one outlier townhome unit right now that is it's a two-bedroom, 2.5 bath, and it's about 1,700 square feet. So our intention is to actually convert that into a three-bedroom, to add a three-bedroom to the community as well. But current rents across the two properties actually pretty well align with current tax credit rents.
So after renovations, the rents would be?
In some cases, they'll go down. So for the residents who are at a lower income level.
Right.
Yes.
Through income averaging,
Yes.
we're restricted to an even lower rent on those lower income restricted units. Rent control is even tighter on those lower income units. So for roughly, we haven't done the most up-to-date income scan. The last income information we have is several months old. We're refreshing it currently. Freeman Webb is our property manager, conducting the income research for us right now, actually. But there were roughly, I think, 30-ish people who were at a 40% median income or lower. And, for those folks, they're currently paying essentially like a market rate, $900 a month in rent, but that rent will drop to $600 a month, give or take. So it'll be a big, big win for them. Renovated apartment
And it's cheaper rent.
at 50% less than they've been paying. So,
Sure you get a newspaper story on this one, huh?
well,
Going against the tide.
Yeah.
yeah,
Inflation.
It is unusual.
It's called deflation, huh?
yeah, right.
And one of the important things on the timing for us with this is that it was acquired through a loan guarantee program. So we developed that with a combination of 4 local foundations who put up a portion of their corpus to guarantee 100% financing for the acquisition. So that was for a 3-year commitment. And so we need to be able to take them out of the property so that we can essentially recycle that commitment for other acquisition opportunities.
I'm sorry, you say you had got the commitment for borrow money for this, to purchase these two properties?
For the initial acquisition, yes.
Right, and when you close this and sell out, then to the partnership, then you can use that money to buy some other projects, or whatever, that's your plan. How many things do you have all going now, right now?
In the immediate pipeline, this is about half of the immediate pipeline. We have another 70-unit new construction project that we'll break ground on in January, God willing. And then we have we came to see the board last November, I believe, about a year ago, for a 136-unit new construction project, which has been delayed due to some HUD approvals, which haven't yet been granted, but we expect around January also. So that would set us on track to be able to move forward on 136 units of new construction on Murfreesboro Pike.
We're wrapping up construction on 147 units now. That's ground-up new construction that will finish
Where
this
is that?
spring. On Dickerson Pike.
That was the Skyliner, also approved by this board.
So, this one will be submitted to THG, is this going to THGA then?
In the spring.
January or whatever, hopefully get
Whenever
some
they
action,
open
we
it.
can get under the way next year sometime, I guess, is the plan. I think she'll be back before us for final approval. Okay, further questions? We have a resolution for them. Is there a motion to approve resolution for this project?
Need a public hearing?
Oh, yeah, excuse me, thank you, sir. Yes, we need to have a public hearing, although we could have a motion introduced, but the resolution introduced. But anyway, we will be considering a resolution perhaps here. But we will ask, is there anybody from the public wishing to speak for or against this project? Again, I'm not seeing anyone indicating a desire to speak, so we'll close the public hearing.
And move approval.
And you move approval?
Sure.
Okay, is there a second? Second? Okay. Further discussion, questions, anyone? If not, all those in favor of adopting the resolution approving this project indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no? Good, project is approved.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
How's THJ gonna deal with all these projects coming in at one time?
No ability to get lumber.
Not to
yeah.
mention
Or
how they'd be
chips.
coming in from Memphis and other parts of the state, right? Yeah, THJ better increase their mailbox size.
Down the road a few blocks.
Okay, this is Highmark, Glastonbury Woods.
Yes, how are you? Good to
Okay.
see you. I'm Robbie King with Highmark Holdings, local developer here in Nashville. Here to seek an inducement resolution for $16 million in tax-exempt bonds to help finance the acquisition and renovation of a 144-unit complex, actually located just slightly down the hill from the two projects that you just heard about. So, hello, neighbors. So this is called Glastonbury Woods. It was built in the mid-'80s. We are lined up to, we are with approval today. We plan to seek bonds and credits from THDA early next year. Hope to close in, shortly after receiving that award and begin our approximately $3 million renovation of the property. This is also naturally occurring affordable housing, so not currently under any income and rent restrictions. Paying attention to questions previously. Current asking rents are around $850. Current asking rents are $850. The rent roll does show, doesn't show rents above that, but does show some below. Most of them $750 to $850. Again, it's currently a market rate property. We will have 80% of the units at 60% of area median income. So currently that rent would be $876. 20% will be a 50% AMI, that's $718. So again, about 20% of the folks will get a rent reduction should they choose to stay, and on average about a $26 rent increase for most of the folks. We do know that the vast majority of the folks that are currently living there do income qualify, so those folks will be able to stay. We plan to do a Freddie Mac Tills execution on this through Berkadia Mortgage, and Regions Bank is our anticipated tax credit investor. So with that, I'll open it up to any questions they all may have.
So tenants currently are in the development, and you're gonna kind of hop around and renovate each unit and move folks around? Can you explain that process?
Correct. Our plan would not involve displacing folks for more than one day. We can do the renovation work that we need to do with them in place, other than the requirement to do flooring and paint, which is a THDA requirement.
And that was sort of my question. This is, $20,000 a unit. That doesn't seem, when I get things done at my house, that doesn't go very far at all. What really are they getting? So flooring and paint?
Yes,
I'm sorry
so
if I missed that in the write-up.
I failed to mention that. So replacing all siding, windows, heat and air units, refrigerators, toilets, construction of a new leasing office, and then the replacement on an as-needed basis of the other appliances, water heaters, cabinets, and countertops.
It's needed then, so, okay.
And the parking lot will be redone.
So it's not coming out pristine, but it's coming out very serviceable.
Yes, and
Okay.
and anything identified in the capital needs assessment will certainly be addressed. Should be noted, all roofs were replaced within the last 2 years by the previous owner.
So it sounds like more energy efficient units, I'm assuming.
Yes.
Okay.
And if you have a adult in there with a parent with a child in there, they need to be gone for a day because paint's going on. What happens?
So actually, there are very few children. These are all one-bedroom apartment units.
Okay.
So in this particular one, very few children. Typically, in that instance, we would hope that we could get the work done between 8 and 5. We would set up kind of a lounge area in the clubhouse, snacks, big screen TV, what have you. If something was going to go beyond the hours of 8 and 5, we would put them up in a hotel for the evening.
Further questions? Right now, I'm going to open this up for a public hearing. Ask if there's anyone here wishing to speak for or against the project we're discussing. Again, I'm not seeing anyone desiring to speak, so I'm going to close the public hearing. And further questions? Or do we have a motion to approve the resolution? You move adoption. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? If not, those in favor of the resolution indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Resolution is adopted.
All right, thank you all very much. Happy holidays.
Okay, we have another preliminary approval, and this is 301 Ben Allen, LP.
I don't think the representatives are here, so they just want to go to the next agenda item.
Okay, next one, number 11 then is, this would be for final approval, and this is for ECG McCrory. That's the one we were discussing. No, go ahead.
Well, this is the first phase of one of the projects that you gave preliminary approval to earlier. So this is the first phase. This project closed with a bond issuance approved by this board in July of this year. So we're under construction now. The request that's before you today is basically to swap out $4 million of taxable debt with $4 million in tax-exempt debt. So why are we doing that? We, like everybody else, saw a bunch of cost escalation this summer, primarily around lumber, but also around metal, labor, kind of you name it. But lumber was definitely the biggie. It went from $400 to $1,600, about 4x in the span of 6 months. What the issue that caused for us, primarily the biggest one is around something called the 50% test, which is just a requirement that on any of these tax-exempt bond 4% LIHTC deals, that basically 50% of the cost of the development, more than 50% of the cost of the development, is financed with tax-exempt bonds. So, we came here when the deal closed in July, and we got the final approval from you all. You approved $43 million, which it turned out to be not sufficient to meet the 50% test. there's always a tension here in the requests that we make. You keep hearing these 43 numbers. There's a reason for that. The reason for that is because that's the maximum that THDA will allow without kind of a special process. So every developer is trying to stay under that $43 million number to the extent they can without creating problems like this. So this is an unusual situation. It's about satisfying a technicality in the tax code. We're not trying to add additional debt to the property. We're just swapping out taxable debt for tax exempt debt. So the initial, like I said, the initial approved bond issuance, tax exempt bond issuance was $43 million. This would be $4 million in addition to that, which would give us the cushion that our bank needs to feel comfortable that we'll satisfy the 50% test.
Do you need any approval from a THCA?
Yes, we need the bonds from them, and at this point, they have given us their permission to move ahead, and it'll be a 2022 issuance, but.
So you have to submit this to them after, after our approval here, is that what you're saying?
Yes, we'll have to submit, confirm for them your approval, and then they'll issue us, I would imagine, another bond commitment letter that, for the additional $4 million.
And so then will we have to do another close on those?
It'll be a second closing on the same project.
Right.
Yes.
Right.
But the financing's the same as the first portion. Yes.
Same bond buyer, yes.
Okay. So,
Same structure.
so we're approving, but then they'll still have to wait to get
It's
THCA.
subject to THDA.
Okay.
So do we just try and deconstruct the mathematics? So what I'm hearing is that the totality of the project was about $86 million in a bond issue, of which half was tax exempt, and you satisfied that with all the affordability requirements and so forth. But because of the cost of the increase in materials, you've now sort of added $8 million to this project roughly, and it's now, what is it, $94 million? Is that math crazy? Or, I'm just trying to slot all the numbers. I do math.
That's roughly correct. Yeah,
Okay.
We're not trying to solve for 50.01%, right?
Yeah, okay.
The bank wants a little bit of cushion in there, but yeah, that's essentially correct.
But the project, like he said, the whole project is 86 million plus 90.
Yes, it's not. I'd say our loan as a percentage of costs or as a percentage of the value is probably in the 60% range.
Okay, there's that.
With the most of the rest coming from the proceeds from the 4% credits.
So emotionally, I'd like to hear that for $4 million, we're getting more, subsidized or, affordable housing, right? But we're not going to get that because of but it also makes sense the way you've set that up. So I'm in if my colleagues are in.
So do we have a motion to approve?
Well, no, we don't have to do a public.
No, we don't need public hearing. So this, we're giving the approval, move approval. Is there a second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? All those in favor of approving this resolution to increase this by $4 million indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? No? Okay, resolution is approved. Okay, the next project is Chestnut Hill. Final approval not to exceed $31 million in multi-family drives. And this project is on Factory Street behind Trevecca, I believe.
Yes. Yes. So we came back here, we did the TEFRA for this one in September 22, so here for the final issuance. And on this one, we are ready to go. We have our master permit. We are planning to close next week. So the master permit, this is 204 units, mix of studio.
Would you say what term you use, master?
Master permit.
From
Yep.
codes permit, or what do you mean by permit?
To build.
Building permit, you got your master.
We have the master permit, and then the grading will issue letter, and then we'll get the building permit when we go vertical. So we're ready to start construction. For this one, it's 204 units, and the not to exceed 31 million for this one. It's 3 residential buildings, all of our upgraded amenities and everything that we've talked about here. And then we have all of our debt financing, everything's lined up, ready to go for this one.
So I remember last time we talked about this one because it's in an area that's fairly industrial there, right south of Tribeca, and there's lots of, bright lights and clanky noise and whatever, and I was hoping to hear more about the sort of neighborhood outreach as this thing evolved. Because I think you talked to us even before the world ended with the pandemic, wasn't it?
It was during the
Okay, I'm sorry, yeah.
no, it was, and yeah, this,
Okay,
so this site, it touches Tribeca, so.
Yeah, okay. I may be mixing two, that's very, I'm not looking at it.
No, but there is industrial.
There is
Really
some
around it, though.
industrial, there's a ton of growth in this area, especially just like from the WeHo area and Chestnut Hill, just like kind of all pushing to where this site is. So we love it. I don't think this would be a good industrial site. It's really small. I don't think you'd be able to get trucks in and out of it, so I don't think it would work for that anyways. There's some, I think it's like close to employment opportunities. I think it's great for that. It's close to some schools. We're doing a lot of landscaping on this one as well. We're spending a lot on that to make it feel more green as well. There's a few residential homes over there, but for apartments in this area, it's really just going to be ours and then everything that's in WeHo, which is all market rate and pretty expensive.
To get to WeGo, or, public transportation, where do you?
Just go down the Murfreesboro Road.
Well, I know Murfreesboro Road, is that the closest? Is that gonna be the closest, I guess?
That one's close. There's a few bus stops. There's another one on Lafayette if you just cut through Tribeca's campus. I think
Yeah, that's Lafayette out there.
I mean, we approved it once, so I'm not gonna hang you up. I'm just curious, so it's all good.
I do remember what you're referring to, though. Yeah, I remember that conversation.
Okay, any further discussion? This is the final approval, so we have a motion to adopt this resolution.
I'll move.
Is so moved. Second?
Second.
Second. Further discussion? Not seeing any. All are ready to vote. All those in favor of the resolution indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Resolution is adopted. When do you think you'll get started? You about ready to start on that, you say?
We're closing Wednesday, the 8th. It's not this Wednesday, but the next.
Okay, let's see. 13. Okay, so this is Petcore Investments. I don't know what all those numbers mean, but anyway, this is Brick Church Pike.
Yes.
Sir.
Yes, Ryan Rogers with Petcore Investments. And similarly, we are scheduled to close on this on December the 8th. It's a 240-unit development that is 100% affordable, all at 60% AMIs. I think we've been working on this for quite a long time. It's got significant topography, which can lead to a long time getting through the process. Similar, getting through Metro right now is pretty much a zoo. So we have gotten to the point where we didn't find out that we were going to get a bond volume allocation and a tax credit award from THDA until later because of what had happened earlier this year with the bond volume being taken up, but THDA got some back. So about a month ago, maybe 6 weeks ago, we were told by THDA that they would have extra bond volume, and because we were ready to go, they were able to take our application, and just about 3 weeks ago, they issued us our award for tax credits and bond volume. So we're ready to close next week. At this point, I think everything is looking pretty good. And we would start construction shortly thereafter. We've already got our bids back, so we're ready to sign up the subcontractors and get going.
Can you explain what these two series, 2021 A and B, are?
Yeah, it's basically the way that the finances work on this. We do a financing method where we typically only need the amount of bonds that would equate to the first mortgage that would be on the property. In this case, kind of what you've heard before, expenses have increased dramatically from when we first started this development. And as such, the bond volume need is greater than our first mortgage amount. So we've kind of split them up because we pair, in a lot of our deals we get a HUD, Ginnie Mae, and in this deal we don't. But typically what we do is we pair our tax exempt bond with our mortgage. So $1 paid on the mortgage is $1 paid on the bonds. But because there's an excess of bonds that we need that's above and beyond our first mortgage amount, we split them into two different series so that they can be separate in separate categories for that method.
So, I remember last time we talked about this one because it's in an area that's fairly industrial there, right south of Tribeca, and there's lots of, bright lights and clanky noise and whatever, and I was hoping to hear more about the sort of neighborhood outreach as this thing evolved.
Further questions? If not, do we have a motion to adopt this resolution?
Move approval.
Move approval. Is there a second? Second. Any further discussion? If not, all those in favor of the resolution indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed? No. Resolution is adopted. Anybody ever show up for Ben Allen?
He's on his way.
Oh, okay.
So you've got one more agenda item, and so that's on the regular agenda, so you should be here by the time that's.
Okay, oh yeah, we got the fairgrounds project, yeah, okay.
Yes, you have one more agenda item.
Okay, right, okay. So who's here for fairgrounds?
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Dirk Mountain with Market Street Enterprises. I want to recognize Mick Nelson, who's our affordable housing partner in the project with Nelson Community Partners. We're awfully excited about this creative and innovative project. We found a way to create 120 affordable units in a location that's perfect for it. The Fairgrounds campus is less than 2 miles from employment centers in downtown and midtown areas, and we're on 2 transit lines within half a mile. We're 0.3 miles from the 52 line going down Nolensville Pike and 0.1 miles from the 21 line going across to Midtown and the hospital corridor. So it couldn't be a better location for this. We're very grateful for the community support that we've received. Councilman Sledge, MDHA, THDA, Stand Up Nashville, and National Soccer Holdings have all been tremendous partners with us kind of creating this project. And we really hope that by doing this and coming up with a creative financing solution with our financing partners at Berkadia Mortgage and PNC Bank, which is the tax credit investor for this project, we might be able to replicate this model on other metro-owned land around Nashville. So we're excited about it and appreciate the support.
Who does own this land now?
The metro government does.
Are they leasing it, are they selling
Yes,
it?
we have a long-term ground lease.
Okay, just, I mean, the people that got the stadium also got this property, is that accurate or
The
not?
stadium is separate to a separate ground lease.
Separate ground lease?
The development parcel is one ground lease entity.
But don't some of the people involved in the stadium have something to do with this?
Yes, sir. As part of the sponsorship group for the mixed-use development.
And who do you represent, or who are you with?
Market Street Enterprises.
Market Street.
We're the master developer for the mixed-use campus.
And the other person, Nelson, is with?
Mick Nelson with Nelson Community Partners, and advising on the affordable housing aspects of the deal.
Are you local Nashville? Or?
Yes, yeah. Actually, my office is right down the street from the stadium site in Wedgwood, Houston.
And what else is Market Street doing in town?
Our primary investment is in the Gulch neighborhood. We started with the development of Laurel House apartments in 2004 and some other TIF and other mixed-use projects over the past about 20 years in that part of the neighborhood.
And even with the NASCAR deal, you still want to go ahead?
No question.
Well, okay.
No question.
It's, so what size building, would it be one building, high rise, or how many stories, or what?
It's a 6-story building. It's 328 units, 120 of which will be offered at 60% AMI.
How many total units did you say?
328.
And how many will be affordable?
120.
120. And the rest will be market rate?
Yes, actually, we'll be offering 40 units at 80% AMI voluntarily as part of our arrangement with the community.
In addition to the 120?
Yes, sir.
So 160 total?
Yes.
You know, I don't know, I'm still having trouble knowing exactly, and I've been to the fairgrounds, there's something for the flea market, I know where the stadium is, I'm still having trouble locating where the
Benton
apartments.
Avenue is right up the top. So there's
Wedgwood.
Yeah, there's Bransford, and there's Benton, and
Yeah,
there's
Benton.
there's Wedgwood.
Right, Wedgwood runs, it's really designed, I mean,
Yeah,
technically
there's
through.
Craig. There's Craig.
Through,
Yeah.
okay, so there's the stadium, I mean, that's the flea market building.
And there's the fairgrounds.
Okay, that's okay. Okay, this is where the flea market building is, this is where you, where's Wedgwood coming in?
So there's Craighead, where you go get your,
License.
yeah, and you go down there and you take a left on Bransford and a right on Benton.
Still, getting that variance, because I drive through there all the time and over there, but I'm getting like,
The parking garage is 7 stories. How tall is the actual building itself, the one that it houses the apartments in?
The apartments are 6 stories tall, and then the garage, two stories are actually subterranean measured from the building, so it's truly a 5-story structure.
And there is Benton, that little street right there.
yeah. Okay. And
Tees off of
where is the
Frankfurt.
housing going?
Right there. At the front end of Benton is going to be where the housing is. You know, we turn off of Bransford onto Benton, and the fairgrounds is on your right.
Yes, it'll be directly adjacent to the new soccer stadium.
So it's going to be.
And so, right now, all the infrastructure, all the roadways are being improved. And so Benton Avenue Extension, Wedgewood, and a portion of Rains Avenues are all being reconstructed. And then as per our master plan, and this will be the first of 3 mixed income buildings that will be located on the campus.
I'll move approval.
Yep. Your second?
Second.
Second. Any further discussion? Not seeing any. All those in favor of the resolution indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no. Resolution is adopted.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
When do you all plan to start construction there, do you know?
Right at the first of the year.
You gonna beat the soccer stadium? Not really.
Not quite. A little bit behind them. They start playing in May.
Right. Okay. What is the anticipation of construction?
It's a 28-month build, so it'll be delivered in
28 months?
2024, yes.
Okay. All right.
So we're waiting for someone now, is that?
He's arrived.
Oh, he's arrived, okay, all right, great.
All right, yes, sir.
Hello, I'm Matthew Pierce. I'm here with the Clearblue Company for 301 Ben Allen Road. So we're going to build a 245-unit apartment community there. There's going to be 60% AMI for 100% of the units. It's a trail-oriented development. We're going to have several amenities on site, including a classroom and technology facility within the clubhouse. We're going to have walking trails and greenways that connect with the rest of the roads between Dickerson and Gavelton, as well as a playground at the site as well. The site's going to be, or the complex will be 12 different buildings, consisting of 2- and 3-story walk-ups. We're not aiming for any specific population, so it's just a general family build.
And you said trail-oriented?
Yes, sir.
Is there trails nearby or joining this property?
That specific area is just zoned for trail-oriented development.
What does a trail-oriented development mean? I don't know what that is.
Trail-oriented development is just a specific focus on greenways and having walking trails within the community.
On the site?
Mm-hmm.
You say it connects, or there's
There will be
greenways
connections
or-
to, the other greenways and the sites that are being built around it.
Is there a school close to it?
Hattie Cup.
Okay, good.
So what size apartments are they going to be?
We're going to have 2- and 3-bedroom units. And
All 2 and 3s?
Yes, sir.
Well, we need to have a public hearing on this, so at this time I'm going to ask if there's anyone here wishing to speak for or against this project. Again, I'm not seeing anyone desiring to speak, so we'll close that public hearing. Further questions? We have a letter of resolution that says, again, is preliminary approval for them. They'll have to come back to us for final approval, but do we have a motion to give them preliminary approval?
So moved.
Second?
Second.
Second. Further discussion? If not, all those in favor of the resolution indicate by saying aye. Aye. Any opposed, no. Resolution is adopted. That concludes our regular business. Do we have any old business? No. Any new business?
Yeah, just a quick remark on new business. I want to thank my board colleagues for masking up during this ridiculous time we find ourselves in. And I would like to make a motion just that we please tell our friends at Adam and Reese to inform those of us who come before us that we on the board would appreciate, as long as we're under these conditions and as long as our metro government is encouraging it, can we just send along our deepest encouragement as well through the law firm that we would appreciate folks who come before us to wear masks, with perhaps the exception of those, the one person presenting. I can see how that might be inconvenient. So that's a motion. If it has a second, Mr. Chairman, maybe that's out of order, but.
No, that's a fine resolution. Is there a second? Second it?
Yeah, second, yeah.
Discussion? All those in favor of that resolution indicate by saying aye.
Aye.
Any opposed, no? Okay, very good. If you'll just encourage people, let them know that the board would appreciate everyone who wear a mask. Thank you all for those of you who did today, but it's not a requirement. I didn't know what the Metro, apparently
Right,
the
it's
courthouse.
everything's in flux.
Yeah, the courthouse is no longer, although if you go to
Hopefully
court,
it'll all be over by next.
it's required in the courtroom. Well, you say it can all be overpaid.
Our president,
Are you quoting
that
somebody?
website said it would be way over by now.
Okay, I think any further business or not, we'll stand in adjournment. Thank you all.
Thank you.
Thanks all for being here today.
I don't know what to do.
This has been a service of the Metro Nashville Network. If you would like to see this presentation again, or for more information on this and other programs, visit nashville.gov.